once I rose above the noise and confusion.
Some songs never leave the radio. They've been spinning for decades, becoming the soundtrack to millions of lives. Morning commutes, late-night drives, first kisses in parking lots. These are the tracks that defined what classic rock means. Played so many times they've become woven into our DNA. Today, we count down the 10 most played songs in rock history. The anthems that refuse to fade, the legends that radio couldn't live without. Because when a song is this good, you never get tired of hearing it. "1983. MTV is changing everything, and three bearded guys from Texas are riding the wave with style. Sharp-dressed man became ZZ Top's calling card, a blues rock strut wrapped in synthesizers and swagger. Billy Gibbons' guitar tone is impossibly thick, cutting through the mix like a knife through silk. The lyrics are simple but effective. Dress well, get respect, own the room. It's about confidence, presentation, and that unmistakable Texas cool. The music video, with its red car and impossibly long beards, became iconic. Radio loved the groove, the attitude, the 3-minute shot of pure rock adrenaline. It proved ZZ Top could evolve with the times without losing their edge. Decades later, it's still the soundtrack to getting ready, heading out, and making an entrance. Sharp-dressed man never goes out of style, and radio knows it. Same year, same album, completely different vibe. Legs might be ZZ Top's most hypnotic track, built on a synthesizer line that sounds like it's from another dimension. Released on Eliminator in 1983, it showed the band's ability to blend electronic elements with their trademark blues rock foundation. The music video told a Cinderella story, transformation through confidence, and MTV couldn't stop playing it. But it was radio that made Legs immortal. That groove is undeniable, the kind that makes you nod your head without thinking about it. Billy Gibbons' guitar work is subtle here, leaving space for the rhythm to breathe. The song builds slowly, adding layers, pulling you deeper into its spell. It became a staple at every rock station in America, proof that ZZ Top could dominate both the airwaves and the charts. Legs walked into rock history and never left. Ann Wilson's voice could shatter glass or heal a broken heart, sometimes in the same breath. Crazy on You, released in 1976, announced heart as a force to be reckoned with. Nancy Wilson's acoustic guitar intro is one of the most recognizable openings in rock, delicate and intricate, before the song explodes into electric fury. This was the sound of women refusing to be sidelined in a male-dominated genre. Ann's vocals soar and dive, carrying lyrics about love, desire, and the madness of trying to hold on to something beautiful in a world falling apart. The guitar solo is ferocious. The rhythm section drives like a freight train. Radio programmers heard something special immediately, and they've been playing it ever since. Heart proved that rock didn't belong to anyone. It belonged to whoever could play it best. Crazy on You remains one of the most powerful statements in classic rock history. Tom Scholz was a perfectionist, and it shows in every second of Peace of Mind. Released in 1976 on Boston's legendary debut album, it captured something essential about the American dream and its discontents. The lyrics question the rat race, the climb for success, the price of ambition. But the music? Pure triumph. Brad Delp's vocals are crystal clear, hitting every note with precision and soul. The guitars layer and interweave, creating a wall of sound that's both massive and meticulously crafted. That iconic guitar tone, recorded in Scholz's basement studio, became the blueprint for arena rock production. Radio loved the balance between accessibility and sophistication. Peace of Mind wasn't just a song. It was a statement about finding clarity in chaos. Decades later, it still resonates because the questions it asks never went away. And radio keeps playing it because the answers are still in that perfect chorus. Progressive rock meets classic rock radio gold. Kansas released Carry On Wayward Son in 1976, and it immediately became something special. That opening a cappella harmony grabs you before the instruments even kick in. Then comes the riff, the rhythm, the building energy that defines everything Kansas could do. The song is about spiritual seeking, about the journey through confusion toward understanding. Steve Walsh's voice carries both power and vulnerability. Perfect for lyrics that speak to anyone who's ever felt lost. The guitar work is intricate, the organ parts add depth, and that climax hits like revelation. Radio programmers recognized instant classic material. It became the song that introduced mainstream audiences to progressive rock without alienating them. Carry On Wayward Son has been featured in countless movies and TV shows, but its real home has always been rock radio, where it's played millions of times and still sounds fresh every time it comes on. Lightning in a bottle. That's what Tom Scholz captured when he recorded More Than a Feeling in his basement studio. Released in 1976, it became the sound that defined an era. That acoustic guitar intro, instantly recognizable, giving way to one of the most perfect rock arrangements ever committed to tape. Brad Delp's vocals are angelic, soaring over layers of guitars that Scholz spent months perfecting. The song is about nostalgia, about hearing an old song and being transported back to a moment, a feeling, a person. It's meta in the best way. A song about the power of songs. The production is flawless, every element precisely placed, creating something that sounds both intimate and arena-sized. Radio stations knew they had a gift. More Than a Feeling became the track that proved you didn't need grit to rock, you needed craftsmanship and soul. Nearly 5 decades later, it remains one of the most played songs in rock history because it never gets old. It's more than a feeling. It's perfection captured in 4 minutes. Brian Johnson's debut album with AC/DC. The weight of replacing Bon Scott could have crushed anyone. Instead, Johnson and the boys created Back in Black, and You Shook Me All Night Long became one of the most joyful songs in rock history. Released in 1980, it's pure celebration, a tribute to a woman who can rock your world and leave you grateful for the experience. That opening riff is instantly recognizable. Angus Young's guitar work sharp and infectious. Malcolm Young's rhythm guitar provides the unstoppable foundation. Johnson's voice, raspy and powerful, delivers the lyrics with a wink and a grin. The song is simple in the best way. Built on a groove that makes movement inevitable. Radio loved its energy, its positivity, its ability to lift any mood. You Shook Me All Night Long became a party anthem, a driving song, a celebration of rock and roll's pure pleasure. AC/DC proved that you could honor the past and charge into the future simultaneously. Radio has been playing it non-stop ever since. Bob Dylan wrote it. Jimi Hendrix made it immortal. Released in 1968, Hendrix's version of All Along the Watchtower transformed Dylan's acoustic folk song into a psychedelic rock masterpiece. That opening guitar line, ominous and hypnotic, sets the tone for 3.5 minutes of pure genius. Hendrix's playing is both controlled and wild, his tone instantly recognizable, his phrasing unlike anyone before or since. The song feels ancient and futuristic simultaneously. Lyrics about confusion and apocalypse delivered with urgency and mystery. Radio programmers heard something timeless immediately. Even Dylan himself admitted that Hendrix's version was definitive. Occasionally performing it in Hendrix's arrangement rather than his own. The guitar solo remains one of the most studied and celebrated in rock history. Every note purposeful, every bend meaningful. All Along the Watchtower became proof that interpretation could transcend the original, that genius could take another artist's work and create something entirely new. Radio has never stopped playing it because listeners have never stopped being mesmerized by it. that bass line. 4 notes that instantly transport you. Sweet Emotion, released in 1975 on Toys in the Attic, became Aerosmith's signature groove. Tom Hamilton's bass drives everything, creating space for Joe Perry's talkbox guitar to add its strange, vocalized texture. Steven Tyler's lyrics hint at band drama, relationship tension, and the chaos of rock and roll life. But the music is pure swagger. The song builds perfectly, starting minimal and adding layers until it explodes into the chorus.
Well, Billy.
There's a looseness to it, a feeling that the band is barely holding it together, which only makes it more exciting. Radio loved its combination of accessibility and edge. Sweet Emotion became the track that proved Aerosmith wasn't just another rock band, they were the band. The kind that could fill arenas and still sound dangerous. Decades later, it remains one of the most instantly recognizable songs in rock history. That opening never gets old, and radio knows it. Steven Tyler was barely 20 when he wrote Dream On, but he sang it like a man staring down mortality. Released in 1973 on Aerosmith's debut album, it took years to become the massive hit it deserved to be. But once radio discovered it, they never let go. The song starts quietly, almost intimately, with piano and Tyler's voice in its lower register. It builds slowly, adding guitar, drums, intensity. Then comes the final verse, where Tyler's voice climbs into that impossible falsetto, reaching notes that still give listeners chills. It's a song about time passing, dreams fading, the urgent need to seize life before it slips away. The production is raw compared to what came later, but that rawness adds authenticity. Joe Perry's guitar solo is perfect, not flashy but deeply emotional. Dream On became the power ballad blueprint, the song that proved rock could be vulnerable and still powerful. Radio stations have played it millions of times, making it the most played song in rock history. It's been featured in countless movies, covered by numerous artists, and remains Aerosmith's defining moment. Dream On isn't just a song, it's a standard, a benchmark, a reminder that great music transcends everything. And radio keeps playing it because some songs are simply too good to ever retire. These 10 songs define classic rock radio. They're the tracks that generations have grown up with, the anthems that never fade no matter how many times you've heard them. From Aerosmith's dominance with 2 entries to ZZ Top's Texas swagger, from heartbreaking barriers to Hendrix redefining what guitar could be, each song earned its place through pure excellence and endless replay. What's your story with these songs? Which one brings back the strongest memory? Did you hear it on your first car radio? At your first concert? During a moment that changed everything? Drop your stories in the comments and share this with someone who understands that some songs never get old. This was Rock Memories, where the past still plays loud.